joining the live stream. I found this really cool 50-40-10 rule. What's going down in Houston? I don't live in Houston. That's party finance. I live in California. I live in Orange County by Disneyland. So if you ever visit Disneyland, hit your boy up. I live in Disney. I live by Anaheim, California. So if you ever come visit, let me know. Hit up your boy. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell. I got that California accent, so maybe that makes it like easier. So I don't know. I don't feel like I have a southern accent, but then again, like Houston is pretty cosmopolitan, so you know, there's not that. I mean, obviously there's still people with, you know, the southern accent, but yeah, like when you go to Austin, Houston, any of the major cities, I mean, there's still people that say y'all, but not, you know, nothing crazy. So, where are you from, by the way? Cody? I believe your name is Cody, right? Rugby Cody? Where are you from? And welcome everyone to the live stream. Letting people trickle in. I figure today, since it's a Sunday, we talk a little bit about stocks, but probably mostly about crypto. And then I do want to talk about this. I really, really like this post. Oh, Lubbock. Okay. You know, I've been there, man. I've been to Lubbock, dude. I flew to Dallas, and then I flew from Dallas Airport to Lubbock. How much lower are cryptos? So I think it could go down to 20K. So I'm just going to talk about Bitcoin and Ethereum, because those are like really the coins you want to own. And so I see Bitcoin possibly going down to 20,000, but once again, like no one really knows. So just buy, you know, average in. No, I liked Lubbock. So I gotta tell you a story. So I actually dated a girl that went to medical school at Texas Tech. That's why I flew out to Lubbock, and I actually really enjoyed my time in Lubbock. I know that people say there's nothing here, but you have like really cheap alcohol, and the people are dope. And I went to the Mexican markets, the Carnicia, and you got some great like Mexican markets. Yeah, I think you could do VeChain for 5 years. I just would also diversify. No, I would actually love to go back to Lubbock. I mean, I don't know. If you live in like a big city, you know, I live in California, so I mean, I live right next to LA and San Diego, so it's cool to go visit like a small city like Lubbock, and I think Lubbock's gonna blow up. But hey, with the VeChain thing, just make sure you own, like if you're gonna own $100 of VeChain, just make sure you also own $100 of Bitcoin and $100 of Ethereum. If you're gonna invest $5,000 into VeChain, just make sure you got $5,000 of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Oh, nice. Can you help me with my TikTok videos then? If you own an audio video company, can you make my TikToks more professional and my YouTubes? I might need to collaborate with you so I can make better content. Yeah, no, I appreciate you asking these questions. By the way, if you're gonna hold VeChain, you should stake it. I know if you use Voyager Digital, they'll pay you 2% on your VeChain. Where are you buying your VeChain right now? Yeah, it just depends on where you're holding your VeChain. Because if you got the ability to make some interest off your VeChain, yeah, check out Voyager Digital. Here, I'll change my background really quick. Well, it's actually on my profile link. If you click on my profile link, Voyager doesn't allow you. Well, I would shop around, because Voyager's not the only place to. Yeah, if you click on my profile link, but you know, you can also get interest on Blockify. You can get interest on Gemini. So I think the best thing you can do is just do internet research and see who pays, what exchange or what, you know, crypto pool will pay you the highest for you to stake your VeChain. And I don't recommend putting all of it because there's obviously risks of staking, but you know, take like a portion of it and learn how to get some passive income off of your crypto. And here I'm going to change my background, so if you want, I have a referral link for the there we go. So that should get you, Voyager Digital should get you 2%. So you have 22,000 at 15. Should I buy crypto? Yeah, you just have to wait and try different ones. But I mean, I would be getting stocks right now. Like, just so you guys know, I wouldn't be putting all my money into crypto. I would be buying stocks, and there's stocks that benefit from crypto. So for example, yeah, there you go. Just screenshot it and make sure you use my code so you get the free $25 of Bitcoin. But I would highly consider buying stocks because, for example, you can buy chip makers, right? In order for cryptos to work, you're going to need chips. So you don't necessarily have to buy, you know, crypto, or you can buy crypto exchanges. You can buy Coinbase right now. The Coinbase stock is pretty cheap. Sorry, I had to get my ticket, my parking ticket. I'm about to pull up. Well, no, this is actually a good time. If you don't own any crypto, this is a good time to dollar cost average. But at the same time, there you go. When crypto is down, you can buy Mara, Riot Blockchain. Those are some crypto stocks. But I like to go with safer bets. It's a lot safer if you buy Nvidia, AMD. Those are just way bigger companies, and they're diversified chip makers, so there's less risk. You can also buy TSM. It's the first time I'm not stressed. That's good, man. If you don't stress over your crypto, that's a way to go. But at the same time, it's very important that you diversify and you're not just holding only crypto, because there's a lot of good stocks that will also make money off crypto. And what's cool is you can use your stocks to borrow money in the future to buy crypto. Yeah, I know. Coinbase stock is great. And guess what? Like, people paid $420 for Coinbase. And right now, I believe the stock price is like $225. Exactly, dude. I love that comment. Buy the shovel in the gold rush. So and you're asking for specific stocks. I'm going to just repeat them again. AMD, the chip maker. Nvidia, the chip maker. So it's NVDA is the ticker. TSM is another chip maker. And then Coinbase is a good stock. You could invest in an ETF that like invests in blockchain technology. I like ARKF, ARKF. That's another one. So the way I learned without the classes is you can basically work. Like, I did an internship, Jeffrey Epstein coin. But yeah, you can intern and you can work for either a real estate broker, or I highly recommend getting into real estate loans. So if you want to learn about real estate, I would highly recommend working with a mortgage broker. And that's a great way to learn a lot about not just real estate, but the finance market. So if you can, hit up your local loan lending officers, loan brokerages, that's a good way to learn. Yeah, what I'm doing with my Ethereum is I just buy anywhere from $10 to $100 a day of Ethereum. And you obviously don't have to copy me, but there's no fees on Robinhood, right? So you can set limit orders, which I did, but also just every once in a while, I'll just pop in, and if Ethereum's down, I'll just buy $10 worth. And then, you just kind of slowly average in. I just don't believe in... Sorry, my reception is kind of not doing so hot. But I think it's really, really important you dollar cost average, or at least learn. If you want to learn more about dollar cost averaging, you can go on the internet. You can go on Google. You can go on YouTube. Which platforms? Let me show you. My favorite is Interactive Brokers, and I will show you why. So I'm trying to do all of mine on Interactive Brokers because, like, look how cheap it is for me to borrow. I mean, where else can you go and borrow? I don't know if it's the start of a bear market, but I would prepare for a bear market. So I'm kind of like averaging. So that way, if the bearish signal ends and there's a bull run, I at least bought a little bit of the dip, but I'm not putting in all my money at once. I'm more bullish than bearish. I think that there's really no like fundamental reason for this crash other than like a couple of whales trying to like manipulate the market. And so I think the long-term trend is good for both stocks and crypto. And remember, there's a lot of institutions and hedge funds that didn't get to fully invest in crypto. And so I feel like a lot of like these funds that were sitting on the sideline and waiting to buy crypto, now that crypto's price has gone down a lot, they're buying in. Well, you can say there's no reason for the US dollar, you know, what's the reason for gold to wear it? So, I don't know. All right, so someone's asking to join my live stream. Let's see what this is. Hello.
I didn't know what I was doing.
Okay. Talk to you later then.
Sorry. Bye.
Can you guys hear me? Well, how about this? I want to wear Bitcoin. Let me know if you guys can hear me, because I sometimes have to restart it. Oh, there we go. My homie Robert Oliver. I already friended you, my friend. You just have to basically friend me and then you go live, Robert, and you can come on this live stream. So you have to add me. Just add me and go live, Robert, and then you just invite me and we can do a dual live stream right now. But hey, let's keep it professional, okay? No. Okay, you guys can hear me? That's cool. There we go. So now Robert, you just need to leave this live stream and go live, and then you just invite me and we can do a dual live stream. So just, yeah, you should invite me and then it should be easy. Yeah, I think it's cheap right now, but remember, if you're going to buy Cardano, just make sure you buy an equal amount of Bitcoin and Ethereum, just because, like, here's the problem, is Cardano is still, like, hypothetical, right? Like, Cardano has not been built out yet, like Ethereum, so it's like you're buying Tesla before they built their cars. And so you kind of want to wait. Oh, here we go. All right, what's up, man?
There he is.
Okay, so first off, I deleted some of those videos because, you know, obviously you proved some stuff, so I just want to, like, make this, like, more like a professional thing, because I do, obviously, like, I looked at some of your content, I respect it, and the main reason I wanted to go live first is to debate the Tesla, because, like, I think this is why we both decided to, like, disagree with each other, so I wanted to first talk about that, because I think that this is, like, a really cool discussion. And then, I don't know, you're also like a pretty, you know, savvy crypto investor. I mean, you have 6 figures in crypto. And so a lot of people are asking me questions about the crypto crash. So if we can first do that stuff, and then we can do some of the, you know, the other stuff. But I do really want to first talk about crypto and Tesla, and then we can go down the rabbit hole of, you know, the other crap. But I did delete some of my videos too. So, you know, you proved it.
Respect.
So I deleted it.
Yeah, no. So Tesla, can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah. Your sound quality is good.
Okay.
And you're in Puerto Rico,
Tesla,
right? You're in Puerto Rico, correct?
Rico.
So, okay, if you're in Puerto Rico, you don't pay a lot of taxes. Do you want to elaborate on that one first? Because a lot of people don't realize this, that it's like a huge way to basically get the benefits of being a U.S. citizen, and you pay like pennies, right? Like, do you want to elaborate on that first?
Yeah. No capital gains first and foremost, so that's nice. Probably attractive to you. And then 4% income tax. So I run a bunch of e-commerce brands, so like food products and all sorts of CPG stuff. And we're largely e-com. So we build the businesses here, 4% income tax, and keep it rolling in the business.
But you have to be in Puerto Rico, right? Like they track you, right? You have to spend 6 months in Puerto Rico, or like you might have to deal with the
Yep,
IRS, correct? And then
that's
I know
absolutely
Peter
right.
shifted it, and like, didn't they get rid of that? Like, you have to be grandfathered in. Like, if I wanted to leave California right now, I can't get that, or it's still open. Anyone can still get it.
It's still open.
Okay. And when did
It's
you
still open.
leave? Where did you leave? Where in the U.S. did you live, and when did you leave for Puerto Rico?
Seattle. So, and I left this year. So I was leaving a similar situation to you being in California. Um, just I knew they were going to raise taxes. Seattle actually put in a unrealized or an additional 7% capital gains tax, and I just wanted no part of that.
Oh my God. Okay, so they haven't passed that yet, though, right? Because right now Seattle has no state tax. It's not like California. You don't have to pay any state income tax, correct?
They passed it, and it goes in effect January 1st of
Oh
next
my
year.
God, I did not know that. Holy crap. So that really sucks for like Bill Gates and all those billionaires, right? Or I guess so what
Those
what
guys
I
don't play the normal rules.
well, one way I kind of got viral on TikTok is I've been posting how I avoid capital gains tax. So one reason I don't leave California is I don't sell my assets. And this is why like
You just
you've heard of
borrow
interaction.
against it.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Like that's what Bill Gates is never gonna. If you have $100 million portfolio and you can borrow at a percent or whatever the private banks will give you, why would you ever sell if it's going to go up at least 5-10% a year, right? You're making money on the bank's dime.
So this is why I also feel like that's why Tesla, it's like they're incentivized. So this is like a perfect example, dude. You're an entrepreneur. You don't want to get taxed. This is why like entrepreneurs do what they do, right? You go where you can get the best possible tax deal. And so I guess our debate with Tesla is like the way you went to Puerto Rico, wouldn't like Elon Musk kind of like basically not want Tesla to be profitable and would want Tesla to keep investing in their because like really the stock price goes up as
Totally.
the yeah, so isn't it like kind of a loophole like, hey, I don't want to show any profit, I want to invest in my business, make my business grow, that pumps my stock price up, that pumps up my net worth, and guess what, I don't go ahead, were you going to say something or should I?
Bezos does it perfectly. Bezos does it perfectly. Like truly, I am so long Amazon. I have a heavy six figure position in Amazon. But Amazon has proven some of those things can turn serious profit. Tesla has not perfected making money on selling cars. So he continues to, like, I'm all for the entrepreneurial experiments. I run my businesses the same way. I consistently start new ones. There's burn. I write it off the profit of the other ones. And I try to balance out my, total income at the end of the year. But Tesla, I know a lot of smart people. I used to be
Okay, hey,
heavily
hold on.
invested in Tesla. I made some money on it. Yeah.
So people are complaining that it echoes. I don't know if you can somehow get rid of the echoing. They say, is there a way you can get rid of the echoing?
I used to be
Okay, hey,
heavily
hold
invested
on.
in Tesla. I made some money on it. Yeah.
So people are complaining that it echoes. I don't know if you can somehow get rid of the echoing. They say, is there a way you can get rid of the echoing? Yeah.
I've been debating that position now for a bit myself, unfortunately, because I fucking love everything Bitcoin stands for.
Same here.
But anyways, yeah. But one gentleman yesterday said he wouldn't be surprised if Elon goes out in a shell of bullets, Enron. And to hear that from a guy that's, I mean, I really respect, like, that gives me pause. And again, I had a lot of Tesla. You give companies the benefit of the doubt for a while, but if they can't show that they can make money doing their core business practice, which is producing vehicles and selling them, then at a certain point you need to pause, right? And that's where I'm at with Tesla.
Okay,
It
so
could be
what
right.
about
Don't get me wrong. I mean,
no, no,
you
no,
know,
no. And you're right. So these are the things I want to talk. And this is why I love TikTok is that we can have these like intellectual debates. And once again, like the more and more I talk to you, I'm actually really, really impressed. Like you sound like an MBA. And there's a lot of people that don't need to go to school to get financial education. So no, no. I think what you're bringing up is really great. And I also feel like in business, the number one thing it's not what you know, it's who you know. And like networking is really, really important. And it's great that you're able to like go to the because I guess there's a lot of people in Puerto Rico that are very very well off, right? And it's a way to basically kind of avoid the tax man, right?
that's right. I mean, I live in a community, and I didn't have this in Seattle. Seattle's a good area, but there's only two spots in Puerto Rico where you live. There's Dorado, where like Peter Schiff, Logan Paul, like there's a lot of people in Dorado, and then there's Bahia, where I'm at, which is the St. Regis, and it's like John Paulson. He's the hedge fund billionaire that shorted the housing market in 2008. He made $4 billion on one trade. He doubled down in Puerto Rico. There's some people like that down here that again, we're not like friends, right? By any means. I mean, these are pretty guarded people, but like we'll cross paths, right? And have conversations from time to time. And we're in a weird market, man, for sure. It's very, very strange.
But let's talk about so going back to the Tesla. What about like their technology? So what about like their self-driving technology? What about their
It's fraud.
their
It's fraud. And that pisses me off. I bought a Tesla. I have a Tesla. Like my picture is my Model X.
yeah
And I
yeah
bought
yeah
it
I
2 years
saw that.
ago, brand new. And I paid $9,000 for the fully self-driving, which was promised a year later, and they just came out again yesterday and said it's nowhere on the roadmap. And Elon does stuff like that all the time, and that's like again, that's what gives me pause. You don't see that with Bezos. Like Bezos is very realistic; he'll take the long view, and whereas as Musk he's a hell of a showman. He's a salesman, and he's failed to deliver on the technology, some of the technologies. Don't get me wrong. Again, in and of itself, it's awesome. I just don't think it is one of the most valuable. I don't know the number, but they're one of the most valuable companies in the world right now. And that's why I see Michael Burry short. And I'm like, hey, that dude has balls because a lot of people have been fucking wrong. But again, like I'm not going to write off Burry. So that's kind of where I'm coming
No, okay.
from.
So let me ask you this, and I'm glad you're bringing all this up because once again, like if we're gonna have a debate, you're totally right. Like Michael Burry, the short positions. I agree with you. So my issue is, and this is when it comes to like Tesla, is that like who can really compete with Tesla though? I know that like Elon does over promise, and he is kind of a showman and all of that stuff, but I just don't see competition for Tesla. Like I don't see these other automakers, and then once again, I mean, yes, maybe the AI technology is not there, and maybe it is a couple more years, but for example, you're familiar with Cathie Wood?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen like her? So she obviously predicted Tesla to $3,000, and she goes on like, I mean, anyone here can go on her YouTube, and she really talks about how important Tesla's AI technology is and how much farther they're ahead of like Waymo and everyone else's. So I don't know if you've seen that stuff. So do you think then basically Cathie Wood's predictions and her analysis on the AI is kind of all bogus, or like what are your thoughts on her analysis on
Yeah,
Tesla and how much farther ahead Tesla is when it comes to technology? Go ahead.
I put some money in ARK when I don't know, several months ago, and I was all hyped up. And then you remember the hedge fund that went bust the recently,
Archegos,
the Bill
yeah,
Hunk.
Archegos,
Yeah,
the leverage, yeah, yeah.
yeah. And you know who ARK seed money came from, right?
No, Archegos.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God,
So
really?
yeah, I mean, and again, don't take my like go fact check all of this. Like Kathy confirmed it. She said that was Bill Hong. That was their seed money. And then you start tracing. I mean, a lot of these things, right? Like off record. And I'm not an investor guy. Like I don't day trade. You know what I mean? Like I have a money manager who handles most of my portfolio, which I actually hate. But again, I don't want to worry with it, right? Like when like you spend a lot of time learning this stuff, and I don't have I'm running businesses, so like
Yeah,
fuck me,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I'd love to,
No, no, I don't
but
day
that gave
trade
me
either. So that's one thing I think is important is like, there's a lot of people that sell classes on day trading and I feel like they don't make money day trading, they
Bullshit.
sell classes. Exactly. So
Yeah, they
I
make
think
money.
you and I we have like legit businesses, so we're focused on the legit businesses. And so I have
Yeah,
the exact same investment philosophy. I like to go long on solid assets. My number one position,
yep,
and maybe this is your number one position, is Amazon. So, I mean, I totally
yep.
believe in Amazon. I really, really like
Mhm.
Amazon's business model. Unfortunately, and maybe I can get your opinion before we go back to Tesla. My second largest position, and I'm really hurting right now, but maybe you can cheer me up, is Alibaba. I really feel like Alibaba, when you look at the cash flows and their, what is your thoughts on Alibaba?
I
Because you're in
so
that
I
business
do
too, right? Do you do business with
I,
Alibaba?
I don't know,
Okay.
but I'm very familiar. So I manage myself about 10% of my stuff, and it's about $1 million portfolio, more with crypto, but I do all the crypto myself. But stocks, and Alibaba was a huge position of mine, and it had been for years. And the more I watch, the more I understand China's government long term play. I liquidated Baba and I liquidated JD, and it's just because it has nothing to do with the businesses at all. It has everything to do with how that government has decided to play, and and
Yeah.
and they did the free market thing, and then they're going to remind everybody that they are in charge. And again, I get it from a communist government standpoint. It was very smart, but it scares the shit out of me, So I didn't want that risk. But a great company, like can't knock the
Okay.
company.
Can I make a recommendation maybe if you don't want to
Yeah,
be in one Chinese stock? So one thing I did, and once again, this is like through my network and you can do your own research. So if you are worried about the risk of the Chinese market, especially going with an individual stock and then all of a sudden their CEO pisses off the government, I was recommended CQQQ, which is basically the Chinese QQQ. And the only reason I have to have some money in China is like they're growing so much faster than us. And it's like, I don't really want to put money in Europe. Like, Europe kind of seems dead. And I
dude,
don't want to have all my
I am
money in
so
America.
long
Go
China.
ahead.
I am so long China. Like I got exposure in an emerging market fund with Capital Group. Like I'm so short the United States and so long China. I was just
Oh,
the Baba one
man.
specifically. Um, yeah, United States. I mean, economic growth has slowed down, and I don't know, man.
But
I'm
who's
not a
better
big
than the
believer in.
U.S.? Like, I feel like China, yeah, they can grow faster because obviously they're gonna have a bigger middle class. But I don't see like Japan. I don't see anyone else other than China competing with the U.S. So
I agree.
I'm
Yeah,
very bullish on America, right? I'm still very bullish on America, and I do also just feel like long term there's going to be a lot of inflation, right? We've never had this kind of like money printing. So,
yeah,
what's nice is like, you and I, we own a bunch of assets. And so even me, like, my business is really just like acquiring real estate and collecting cash flow and rents. And I just feel like it's like an unfair game, especially for like landlords, because like with all this money printing, it makes the real estate asset go up. You can borrow, like I'm borrowing, like I did a commercial loan for like, it used to be commercial loans were like 5%, 6%. But because,
yeah.
and then I want to actually tell you this. The reason I actually have a lot of TikTok followers is I got $1 million commercial loan from a Chinese bank. It's a non-recourse loan, right? And this is the best part. 3.7% on $1 million non-recourse loan. Like I didn't have to, it's none of your tax returns. It's all your business. All China wants is real estate assets because I believe they're devaluing their currency. And so because China has all this capital and they want like a stable, safe return, they're doing a lot of
They got
lending
it.
to real estate. Yeah, yeah. And what's crazy is that like it's just unfair because like okay, so I can borrow all this money, pay super low interest. My assets are going through the moon because like, obviously construction everything is going up, right? Construction costs, labor
Yep,
costs, everything, rent inflation is going up and it's really
yep.
screwing the smaller peoples and I really feel like it screws small business. Like doesn't it make it like all this inflation, doesn't it mess with your returns and like how do you deal with it as like as a business owner? Because like for us as a real
Look,
estate guys, we love it, but it's like unfair to other people.
look. I've been fortunate because I can do about 100 million in revenue with like 3 or 4 people. And that's the beauty of the internet. And that's, like I rely
Can you talk
heavily on
about that?
AI.
Can you elaborate? We want to hear more about this, man. Can you go down this rabbit hole? Tell us how you're able to do this.
Yeah, I mean, it's all e-commerce, right? Like I use Amazon's my big channel, and that's why I'm long Amazon. I've seen the growth of it, right? I've been on there.
What about
But we have
Shopify?
products.
Isn't Shopify like a
Shopify's
competitor to Amazon? Okay, so do you see them competing or not really? No.
not really. When I think of Shopify, I think of like brand. It's direct to consumer. That's the direct to consumer model. Whereas when I sell on Amazon, I'm really relying on Amazon's consumer base, and it's massive, and it's shopping 24/7, and they do a lot of they do all the fulfillment. We set up our ads. Like, ads are relatively easy to maintain and optimize. The e-commerce world has gotten so efficient. You can do big numbers with not a lot of overhead, right? I mean, that's the amazing part. I love Shopify too. I mean, I think anything.
Can you just tell us like how you started? So like, you took $1,000, $2,000. Can you give us like how you started on Amazon and like, what you sell, or what are your biggest money makers? I mean, obviously not right now, but maybe like when you first started, like how did this snowball grow? And let me make it clear. So you're doing millions, right? You're clearing millions of dollars on Amazon, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so like, let's go down this rabbit hole. How did you first get into this Amazon hustle, and how did you get your snowball so big where you're doing millions of dollars of sales with what, like 3 employees? You said you got 3 employees and you're doing millions.
I mean, I have a bigger team. I just kind of set that as like yeah. But yeah, anyways, I mean, luck is how I got started, and nobody likes to admit this.
And by the way, just let me interrupt really quick. If you have a question, you got to go in his live stream. A lot of people are asking me questions, and then I have to interrupt him and ask him. I would prefer just follow him. You can follow him, go into his live stream, and then you can ask him those questions. Because like, I mean, I can interrupt him too, but I would just prefer you go into his live stream, and then you can ask him the question. But go ahead.
TikTok's got to fix that feature. We should be able to both see the.
No, but this is good because
question.
I want my followers. No. But I want my followers to follow you. This is a good way.
Right.
Like, when we're having this conversation, especially because like, once again, like, this is not something I know. I'm a real estate guy, right? And like, this is why I love TikTok, because like, look, I mean, like normally I have to like go somewhere in like downtown LA and like some bougie restaurant, some bougie networking, right? Like I have to go through all this bullshit to hopefully meet someone like that. But like with TikTok, I'm just like, it's like for me, it's like 7 a.m. I'm drinking my coffee. I'm talking a little shit and like, boom, like I'm able to talk to someone that not only lives in Puerto Rico, because like I've always wanted to learn more about Puerto Rico. It's just crazy like how cool this is. And at the same time, I mean, I'm here to learn, like my mindset is like, I'm always a beginner and I always want to learn new things. And it's just so cool for me to be able to not only like connect with you and ask you these questions, but I want my followers too, especially like, if you are interested in Amazon, if you are interested in, for example, moving to Puerto Rico because you're worried about your taxes, like boom, now you can follow this guy. And I don't know if you've gone live before, but if you're trying to build your following on TikTok,
I know.
Yeah, it's crazy because basically what you do is, I'll give you like a little like hustle, is like you literally post 3 to 6 videos and then you go live and it throttles it. It throttles all your stuff. Yeah. So I went from like maybe 10 or 20,000 followers, and then I figured out the live stream thing. And like I used to do road trips to like San Francisco and road trips to Vegas. And so my girlfriend would drive and I would live stream, and it was crazy. Like on these live streams, sometimes I would get like 500 follows or 1,000 followers, and it's really, really cool because you also like, once again, you meet really cool people. It's like TikTok for me it's like one of the best ways to network. Yeah. Especially when you're doing financial stuff. I mean, the reason your post came up is because you're talking about financial stuff, and that's obviously how I connected with you.
Yeah.
But, okay, sorry for interrupting you. So now go down their Amazon route.
Yeah. So I mean, honestly, like in hindsight, an extreme amount of luck, right? I ended up on the platform 6 years ago. I just had graduated. I went to Western Washington, little D2 school, played ball.
And can I interrupt again? Yeah. I feel like for you to become successful, it's also it's your environment, right? Because like I grew up in Indiana, but then I moved to California. I moved to Newport Beach. And so one thing I try to tell people, man, is like, a lot of people, it's like where they move. Like I have a friend that is very, very successful because he lived in Oregon, right? In like a small town, blah, 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 blah. But he ended up moving to Seattle. And like when you're in Seattle, like the network of people you can meet, and I feel like maybe that's kind of how it helps you grow your network.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. I mean, I think there's definitely some truth to that. I mean, in general, too, I think things get stale. Like if you're in a small, I mean, even Seattle, right? For me, I sold my biggest business in 2018. It was a great outcome, but then I kind of got stale. Like you fall into the same routine, the same friends, the same day to day thing, and that's fine for people. But I really wanted to find that next. I was like, I need to go back into growth mode, and that's partly what spurred the move to Puerto Rico. I got a wife and a little baby, and we were like, fuck it. I mean, this is the only time to do it. So, I mean, I 100% agree with that. I think who you're around and more so even the habits you build and kind of the, all that you is cultivated from it is very important. Um, so anyway, yeah,
But
you want the
okay,
quick Amazon
Amazon.
story?
How you got? How you got down the ramen? But I feel like it helped, right? Like, would you agree that because you were in Seattle and your network was in Seattle, it kind of helped you get to that millionaire status? Where like, if you're in like Idaho or like, like if you're somewhere else, I don't feel like you would get the resources, right? Or what are
Yeah,
your
no,
thoughts?
I think that's probably true. I had a lot of really smart people around that helped. But hey, I want to flip that around really quick on you. How do you think that has changed with stuff like this, right? Like with this kind of
So
ability
yeah, maybe
to,
it's different now, but I still feel like in the beginning to get your platform, and like once again, like when I have a conversation with you, it only took me like 5 minutes to be like, oh shit, you really know what you're talking about. And to get there, sometimes you have to still be in a Seattle, right? Like you need to still get like that base level of like fundamentals, and maybe you just use
yeah,
TikTok and YouTube and you can totally do it. But at the same time, if it's not working for you and you're in a small town and it hasn't been working for you, I do feel like taking that risk and going to like a Seattle, going to a Miami, going to an LA, it might improve your chances. But at the same time, I'm sure there's a lot of people that like it's the opposite. They go into debt and like bad things can happen. So I guess it can be a double-edged
yeah,
sword. But you're bringing up a great point where like with TikTok, you can meet people that like make millions on Amazon, and you can go on their live stream and ask them questions. And like this isn't something we could do like even 2 years ago, 3 years ago. This isn't and this is now new technology that people can use if you know
yeah.
what you're doing. But yeah, they really
No,
want
for
you to talk.
sure.
They keep telling me to shut up. They keep telling me to shut up and to let you talk about your Amazon business and how you started. So let me shut up for a little bit and you go ahead.
No, so I mean, in hindsight, I ended up on there on the right time. I graduated, and I really wanted to get involved with e-commerce. And basically, I went and started working under a consultant who was doing consumer electronics. So he was like selling Rockford on Amazon and some of those type of brands. And then I realized I was like, oh shit, you can just get somebody listed on here. You could call up a big. I started in supplements, so I called up a bunch of the big supplement companies that were in like GNC and Vitamin Shop, and I was like, hey, let me sell you on Amazon. And long story short, I found out I became an expert because all I had to do was list them, right? So it was like right place, right time. But then obviously my curiosity snowballed, and then I realized I was like, oh my gosh, there's a tremendous opportunity here. I mean, people are doing, at the time it was like hundreds of thousands in sales a month, and none of them were playing the game right. So I was like, you know what, I got to start my own brand. So the first one I started was the Genius brand, and that was a big one. We ended up going from Amazon to we got national distribution and CVS, Vitamin Shop. The team there, I sold it to a private equity fund, but I still have a little ownership. They're working on like Whole Foods and stuff. But it just showed me the power of like, whoa, you can start that platform. I started Genius with $3,000. I started with one
three
product,
thousand dollars. Wow,
three
that's
thousand
that's
dollars,
dope.
and the cash flow on there is so strong because like you have to launch, so you put money into the machine, but then they pay you every 2 weeks. It's very very I almost liken it to fucking rent, because after you launch a product, after about 6 months, you find out how well it's going to do. And then every 2 weeks, it's like the same, profit. And some are better than others, right? Some go crazy, some flop, but it's like this, it becomes just a cash flow machine. And what you're seeing now, I'm working on raising a fund because there's people going around buying these businesses, and just like real estate, they'll buy one, they'll lever up that cash flow, go to a bank, buy another, double. It's like the same model.
But
But
I
it's
think it's
like,
more
I mean,
profitable, right? I think it's more profitable in real estate because what people don't realize is real estate is a much more crowded trade. What you're doing is more
Yeah.
specialized. So I think the returns are
Yeah.
much, much higher than real estate.
Yeah. And there's more risk, right? You could have a brand really fall apart, but yeah, I mean, there's definitely potential for more, there's like there's arbitrage on the EBITDA. But yeah, I mean, I love it, and I love what you're doing too. How'd you get started? I'd actually love to hear. I'm like a real estate.
So I used leverage in real estate to kind of build most of my wealth. I'm glad you actually asked this question because I don't even know if most of my followers even know this, but so I kind of got lucky because once again, I'm a product of my environment. So I graduated school early. I graduated college when I was 20 years old, and I got a start in 2008. And what was crazy is like the real estate market crashed, right? And then this is another thing too. Why do I meet so many successful athletes, right? You played college sports, you said, right?
Yeah.
You were a college athlete. I don't know what this is, man, but I'm just telling you, most people I meet on TikTok or even through networking, I'm gonna make I know you just mentioned you have a baby, but it's like make your kids do sports because that's like one really, really common theme I see in entrepreneurship are athletes, especially like the higher level athletes, because I don't know if it's like you have to grind more or work hard more. But anyway, so yeah, I was on the swim team for UC Irvine, but I ended up graduating early because I was going to do my master's, right? And then I decided, hey, I don't want to do my master's right away, like an MBA. I want to actually get work experience. So I started working at 20. And I went into the real estate market. I worked for Marcus and Millichap, which is like a really large commercial real estate brokerage. And obviously that's kind of like put me down the rabbit hole of like, okay, like I want to get into real estate investing. The market actually crashed and I pivoted. I actually went into healthcare. So I started working I did a startup company first. We did medical billing. And now it's all like done electronically, but back in the day when you wanted to do medical billing, doctors would send you all their bills and then you would have to like process it all and deal with the insurance company. Anyways, that business went to crap. I got rid of it. I went into healthcare, started working for a hospital, doing business development for hospitals, bringing in physicians. And so that's where I started making really good income, and I was able to qualify for an FHA loan. And once again, this is why like a lot of these people that like are trying to sell you real estate classes, it's like kind of bogus because they made their money in 2010 to 2015. You know what I mean? And it's like, I can't sell you a book on how I got, like, unless you have a time machine and you can go back to my era, like whatever I made money in 2010 to 2015, it doesn't work now. So like, that's why a lot of the education, even in an MBA, that's the problem with like going, like I actually rip on my MBA a lot because it's like, it's not up to date. To be honest, like anything I learned in 2014 and 15, it's worthless. But like coming on TikTok and talking to you right now about like, oh, what's going on with Tesla right now? What's going on with like crypto prices right now? You know what I mean? And that's the problem with the education system. But anyways, I was able to qualify for an FHA loan, and then I did the house hack where basically I bought a $500,000 property. It was 6 bedrooms. I basically only had to put $15,000 down, right? So I move into this $500,000 asset. It's only a $15,000 down payment. Someone else is like, I rip on my MBA more. But what's crazy is that because it was a 6-bedroom house, I rent 5 of the rooms. I collect $3,500 of rent, right? So I'm living in the house rent free. My mortgage is paid for. And because, so what happened is because I had that hospital job, I was able to find a surgery center to also pay me to recruit physicians. So because I had 2 sources of W-2 income, like the hospital's paying me money, and this is how stupid it used to be because like surgeries back in the day used to pay a ton to surgery centers and hospitals. So believe it or not, I believe when I got my hospital job, I was 21. I had sold the medical company, but the reason the hospital hired me is because I had these doctors. So I was doing medical billing, and this is me growing up in Newport Beach. I grew up in an affluent area where basically I went to school with some of these doctors' kids, and I was able to get the business. And then also my partner was basically related to like one of the doctors. But anyways, I was able to get this job where the the hospital was paying me $15,000 a month to recruit doctors because they get one spine surgery and they make like $100,000, right? And then so I was able to get the surgery center. They're paying me $10,000 a month. So I'm making now like on W-2 income, I'm making almost $25,000 and I'm super young, and I'm lucky enough that, okay, I do the FHA loan, it's paying for itself, right? So I go ahead and I buy a second property. This one I actually have to put down a much larger amount. But what's awesome about that property that I bought with all that leverage, it's now $1 million property, and it pays me $5,000 a month. And I actually did refinance out of the FHA, so my mortgage is like $1,500. And it's like,
Yep.
and I invested only 15 grand. Yeah, I only invested 15 grand. But once again, like, this all happened because I bought at like the bottom of the market. It would be like getting into crypto at the bottom, or, buying stocks during the coronavirus. Like if you got into stocks March of last year, you're gonna hit it out of the park, right? But anyway, so to continue, so I buy this second house and I do the exact same thing. I just, I basically move into one of the rooms, I rent all the rooms, and once again, like, it's generating like 3 or 4 grand of rent. My mortgage payment is like $1,800. And then once again, this is more of like good luck. So at the hospital, I meet this MRI guy, right? And so what I'm doing to make more money is I get the doctors in the hospital and the surgery center to use his MRI company. And so he, like, as a favor to me, is like, hey, since you're sending me all this business, let's buy real estate together. And he becomes my first real estate investor, and I start buying properties with him. And then I get another real estate investor. And once again, this is me having the luck of growing up in an affluent area. Because, like, I grew up in Newport Beach, and it's like kind of easy to find these investors when you grew up in Newport. So that's like, and that's why one reason I make it clearly obvious that, like, my success is kind of like easier because I lived in an affluent area and I went to an affluent high school. So it made it like really easy for me to network. So I'm definitely not like, oh, like, pull yourselves up by the bootstraps, because a lot of my network came from, living in an affluent area, and then just good luck where, like, the guy that I'm sending my doctors to happens to also invest in real estate. The MRI guy's in California. And by the way, I got to send you some wine. We got a vineyard now too. We have a vineyard in Malibu. So if you ever come out to Malibu, we have some wine if you like wine. You got to go?
Up on that. County, I got business partners down there. I'm going to be down there for like 3 weeks in
okay, let's meet
August.
up. I live in Irvine. Perfect. Yeah, I live in Irvine.
Let's I got to go. I was working out. I got to go meet up with my wife and baby. But let's touch. It was great to meet you. I enjoyed this.
Yeah. I know. I appreciate it. And then, by the way, I just want to let you know this. So all my live streams, I put them on my YouTube channel. So hopefully that's okay with you. Okay. So this live stream, I'll go ahead and throw up on YouTube. And then definitely I'll message you. I definitely want to go back. And we've never, because like everyone here is pissed that I never let you talk about your Amazon. So maybe we can do another live stream where we talk. Yeah. All right, man. I'll let you go. Thank you.
All right. Great to meet you.
Yep. Yeah. Take it easy. All right, guys. I got to go to the gym, so I'm gonna post this live stream, and that's so cool. Yeah. I live in Irvine, but I gotta go. I gotta go do this workout. So I'm gonna try to get him back on though. That it's really, really cool. He should. Yeah. But okay, cool, guys. I will talk to you guys soon. I'll put this live stream on if you want to listen to it again. But to be honest, I want to talk to him more. I kind of feel like I let you guys down. I feel like, just as he was talking more about his Amazon business. Yeah, but dude, I feel like I got to get him back on, man. I mean, I'm glad we got to talk to him, but I feel like we missed a lot of good information because he had to go. So let's try to get him back on. I am going to message him, and I'm going to try to get him back on it because I really want to learn more about the Amazon business. And I'm just super interested, like how you can make millions of dollars or scale to make millions on Amazon and only have 3 employees to deal with. Like that's really crazy, man. Like I really want to learn more. So, okay. Well, thanks, guys. Thank you. All right. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you very much.